Guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're kind of answering a pretty big question. Is the Mustang gonna be ready for Mustang Week? Now I'm just gonna be kind of talking in this video, not really. I'll show some stuff. There's some stuff I do want to show that doesn't really make it into a main video, but mostly just talking about the timeline. We have parts we still need, just kind of an overview of what we have left to do in 2 months and if it's gonna get done in 2 months. So the biggest question, is the car going to be done in 2 months and be ready for Mustang Week? And the answer is hopefully. Obviously, we could have a catastrophic failure and something just not work out or not get some part in time, but that is still the plan, is to be at Mustang Week. Now, I guarantee I'm gonna be working up till the last minute, and I would not be surprised if I do not get sleep for 2 days before we have to leave. Just stay up straight and get some stuff done. So it's gonna be difficult. It's not gonna be easy to get it done that fast. There's probably 6 months left of work for multiple people in this car, and I have 2 months to do it by myself. Now I do have, in a couple weeks hopefully, at least some time between here and then, I have a handful of people going to come help me, and we're just gonna spend a couple days just thrashing on it and just getting a bunch of stuff done, just having hands on the car, and also just having some other ideas, because maybe there's some part that's gonna take us a long time that they have a better idea about. So, but yes, that is the hope, that it is done in 2 months, or at least driving. I don't know what level of done we're gonna have. Now, where are we at with the cars is another good question. What's its current state? Currently, behind you, I have the CNC running to make all of the final suspension components. The only thing I don't have material for right now is the big sheet. I need big sheets of steel to make those rockers out of. I don't have one on hand to show you, but the big rocker pieces. We're just gonna cut those out of a sheet of steel. I need to go get the steel. But other than that, I have a bunch of blocks of aluminum, all this stuff, which you guys will see in another video. Those are just like 2 of like 10 blocks I have to make all the pieces. The only thing we don't have designed and like ready to go is the push rod that goes to the rockers. I am still looking at options for that, which leads me into my next point of, is the car gonna have all-wheel drive in 2 months? Because for the front, I'd have to build a hoop around the front axles for that push rod piece. If we don't have all-wheel drive, I can just take it straight to the control arm, and that's a way easier mounting solution. Now, I think I've come to terms with the fact that this car will not have all-wheel drive in 2 months at Mustang Week, which is really sad, because that's kind of the whole reason for this. Like, yes, it would still be a mid-engine, crazy front suspension, just cool looking. We're gonna cut the fenders, do something with the hood, I don't know. It's still gonna be a cool car, but the reason I've done all that stuff is to fit the all-wheel drive, and then you don't have the all-wheel drive. That's not to say it will never be done. That is still the ultimate goal of this car. There are still plenty of car shows the rest of this year and more to come. Like, once you build the car, it's your car. You just take it. Like, it's not like this is our last show ever. So it's kind of unfortunate that that is where we're at. But just timing-wise and budget-wise, it just is not really gonna make sense. We have so many other things to finish. I just buttoned up the engine here, got all new seals on it, got the carb style throttle body on the top. We still have to put the engine transmission in the car and measure for a drive shaft, and maybe even drop the rear end out of it, because I need to cut those springs, because otherwise the car's gonna be sitting like that. We have new controllers to put on the back. We have the whole interior to finish. Like, there's a lot of stuff to do. And then the extra steps of adding the front diff and measuring for all those, the front drive shaft and the axles, and then the payment for them. You know, in 2 months, I've still got to spend another $5,000 or $6,000 to finish this car. The axles would be another like $2 grand on top of that. So it's just getting to a point where just timing and budget-wise, it just doesn't make sense in such a short amount of time. If we had even another month, it would probably be okay. But we're just running real close to the due date, and I said this before, I would much rather have the car done not all-wheel drive than just miss the show completely trying to get it done. And honestly, if in a month's time I've made some random crazy amount of progress on it, especially with having some people come over and help me, and we have enough time, a lead time for the drive shafts to get measured and ordered, and we have budget left, like that's cool. I'm totally fine doing that. But I'm not going to risk not taking the car to Mustang Week just to put all-wheel drive on it. But again, don't get discouraged. This car will have it, just not maybe in 2 months. Now, It also kind of sucks because I have pretty much, other than the drive shafts, all the parts for it. I have the pump for the transfer case. We have the transmission for it. We have the front diff. We have axles. That all they would need to do is take them and lengthen them, or rip the CV joints off and put them on a longer shaft. We have the front drive shaft, same thing. All they'd have to do is lengthen it or just make a new one based off those measurements. I bought a lot of the stuff for the all-wheel drive system. We don't have all-wheel drive, and that budget could have been used to like build the motor a little bit. So it sucks that is already. It makes it just it suck even more that we won't have it. Even though we would eventually need it, it could have been a nice little touch to add something even crazier to the car. But you live and you learn. We had a plan, and we're just falling like a month or two short. But that's okay. That's how these things go. I'm a 22-year-old kid building this thing in his garage on a budget with a full-time job and a family to take care of and keep entertained. So there's a lot of stuff happening at once. By family, I have 2 dogs. I'm too young for that. Anyways, a long-winded way to say that we're getting it done. It's gonna be done in 2 months. Not done. It'll be driving in 2 months. And then we have a lot of stuff to do. I feel like I've reiterated all this stuff in other videos, so I apologize if it's repetitive and kind of boring. But some people may not always catch those last little bits of information that I put in some of the end of the videos. So, but I always say, we're rocking and rolling. We're getting stuff done. I'm always super excited about this project. I've been working on it for the last like 8 or 9 months, and it is still, it's becoming increasingly more frustrating, but becomes equally as rewarding when you get stuff done. So I'm still having fun with it. Hopefully you guys are still having fun watching the videos. We still have a lot of fun things to do with this car before it is back on the road. So look out for those videos. I will still be posting, maybe even more regularly as we get all these big stuff done. We can tackle some, not smaller stuff, but just stuff that's a little bit easier to film. Because it'll actually get done instead of getting halfway done and having to wait 2 weeks because I messed it up or something like that. Anyways, that's enough of me talking. The next thing you guys will probably see is either engine and transmission going in or suspension parts being finished up. So we're moving along. I'll see you guys in the next one.